Hey guys, welcome to the Wiki channel where the search for the truth begins. So today's topic is duplicate China, fake Pakistan, betrayer Nepal versus India. Two countries in the world and one small country helping them are trying to destroy India. Two among them are betrayers, the other a traitor to his brother. Pakistan and China with the help of Nepal are hunting down India. Will their partnership prevail or will India overcome these betrayers, duplicates and fakes? First, let's discuss our nemesis Pakistan. For the people of the world, we Indians don't call Pakistan as our nemesis, but the Pakistani government considers India as one. What happened on May 22nd in Pakistan? May 22nd, a flight carrying nearly 100 people were supposed to land in Karachi airport. There were messages from the flight control office saying that the flight is in high altitude. So if the plane lands, it will crash. Nearly 5 warnings were given by the flight control office to the pilots. But the pilot and the co-pilot were having conversations about coronavirus and their president Imran Khan. The pilot and the co-pilot failed to listen to the warnings. But it was too late when the pilots recognized they were in trouble. The flight unfortunately crashed and 97 people lost their lives. This happened in Karachi. The Pakistani government after the crash conducts an investigation. It started in May 22nd and ended in June 22nd. The report says shocking news that 1 in 3 pilots in Pakistan have fake licenses. Pakistan government tweets in Twitter. When the international community heard this news, it was shocked and stunned. Nearly 850 pilots are in Pakistan. In other countries, these Pakistani pilots are working. The Gulf Airlines removed 56 Pakistani pilots from their service. Vietnam has banned 7 Pakistani pilots. We still don't know how much of these fake pilots are left in the country and across the globe. So, Pakistani pilot numbers are 850. So nearly 260 pilots hold fake licenses. Fake pilots are in Pakistan. There is also a fake army. The truth is, there is no army but only terrorists. These terrorists are stationed near Kargil and the terrorists supplied arms by China. China is saying that it will send its 4 armed drones to Pakistan. Due to this act, India is going to initiate Predator B plan. Nepal's parliament is postponed. There are going to be changes in Nepal's politics. Will Sharma Oli remain the PM? Or will another person from the Communist Party take over the rule? Sharma Oli is losing favor among the people. Let's talk about Nepal later in the video. China comes in second in this topic. China already knows that coronavirus originated from their country. Chinese virologist Li Mengyan says that China has destroyed all the evidence. She has become a whistleblower and had fled from Hong Kong to America. Li is an expert in virology and immunology. She has given an important interview about the coronavirus pandemic. Many people from China are fleeing the country and becoming whistleblowers. China has the most advanced jet fighters called J-13, J-15, J-20 and J-30. But what does India have? You could have seen this news in social media or mainstream media. But the fact is, these fighters are duplicates. Reverse engineering technology. What are the similarities between duplicate and reverse technology? The Chinese have the capabilities to create a duplicate which looks exactly like the original. But will the duplicate work like an original? No, 100% it will not work like the original. So the international community thinks that the J-13 and J-15 jet fighters will not function properly. China and Russia had a lot of trade. On 2005, the weapons were imported to China from Russia. The percentage was 60% of China's full imports. If we look at 2012, the percentage has dropped to 8.1%. Why China has decreased importing weapons from Russia? China used reverse engineering on imported weapons and equipment. Now they don't have to import from Russia. So Russia knew about China's tactics and said that it will only supply China with bulk orders. Russia said that buying a low amount of equipments, China used reverse engineering and creates its own products. Russia has the patent rights for the weapon systems, but China duplicates them and they don't pay patent rights to Russia. On 1990, 27 jet fighters and S-300 anti-missile systems were brought from Russia by China. Russia has sold S-400 anti-missile systems to China. The next year, China will release its duplicate version of S-400 anti-missile system. So, in 1990, 27 jet fighters and S-300 anti-missile systems were given to China. China signs an agreement with Russia that it can produce 100 jet fighters built in China. But after some years, China announced that they have developed J-11 jet fighters. They also say that they have developed another air defense system called HQ-9. The 27 jet fighters which Russia gave to China was Sukhoi Su-27 flanker jets. China produced a Chinese copy of the jet as the Shenyang J-11, but China didn't pay Russia for the patents. From the S-300 anti-missile system model, the Chinese, using reverse technology, created the HQ-9 anti-missile system. So China buys some military equipment from Russia and then does reverse engineering and creates its own versions. This is the fact and the truth. China doesn't want the world to know its tactics. Last week, China has formed a new group because the Chinese people and opposing political parties have started protesting against the Communist Party. So, the Communist Party has created this committee to crack down on these opposing forces. Through this, we can clearly understand that the ruling Communist Party has been threatened in China. So, getting sample military equipment from Russia and using reverse technology, China creates duplicates. Pakistan creates fake pilots. These two duplicate countries' foreign ministries had a phone call last week. China announces that Pakistan will give its full support on the One China policy. Imran Khan says that Pakistan will complete CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, at all costs. The international community is continuously warning Pakistan that through CPEC they will face huge economic losses. Even the Pakistani intelligence and other organizations in Pakistan say CPEC is a loss for Pakistan. Pakistan is not listening to these warnings and is going to invest $60 billion in CPEC. For Pakistan to properly execute CPEC, it needs drones and it needs support from China. So, China is going to supply 4 armed drones to Pakistan. These drones are called GJ-2 drones. Nearly 48 GJ-2 drones are going to be given by China to Pakistan. The initial supply is 4 to 6 drones. Each drone can carry up to 12 missiles. Does India have a counter for these GJ-2 drones? These drones fly in low altitude. It cannot be detected by the Indian radars. These drones have duplicate technology from Russia. So to counter these drones, India needs a counter drone. This counter drone is called Predator B unmanned drones. India is going to buy HQ-9 Reaper unmanned drones from America. Do you guys remember Iran's military commander Soleimani who was killed by a drone? The same drone is HQ-9. India has been requesting America to supply Predator B and HQ-9 Reaper drones. But Americans said that they can supply Predator B which cannot carry missiles. Those drones are supposed to be used for scouting and patrolling. The Indian government neglected America's offer. India has again placed a request to supply these armed drones. There are chances that America will supply these drones. You may ask us a question now. Why did America refuse to give India armed drones? The reason is we are buying S-400 anti-missile system from Russia. America fears by selling Predator B and HQ-9 drones to India, India may give the models to Russia, thus reverse engineering could happen. But now the situation has changed. America wants to destroy China. So these drones will be sold to India. Do we have to buy these armed drones from America? Don't we have the technology to manufacture these drones? The Indian DRDO, meaning Defense Research and Development Organization, is working hard now to develop and produce unmanned drones. DRDO Rustam is a medium altitude long endurance unmanned air vehicle which is under development by DRDO. Is GJ-2 drones a threat to India? It is a 50% threat. The Chinese have sold the GJ-2 to many countries, but in war, when attacking the enemies, the GJ-2 drones are 70% accurate and 30% results in failure. So this is the result of the drones. We don't have to fear these drones, but through this threat, we can acquire unmanned drones to defend ourselves, which are not duplicates or reverse engineered weapons. So we have discussed about China and Pakistan. Now let's discuss Nepal. What is the present condition of Nepal which is suffering from China? Will there be a political change in Nepal? China and Nepal government follow communist policies. The parties which rules both the countries are communist parties. China wants to change Nepal into a big headache for India. We are going to see various examples to prove this theory. On 2010, WikiLeaks released some documents. They released a document which would affect the relations between China and Nepal. Kathmandu, Nepal's capital, has some refugees from China. The Nepalese government has been ordered to return the refugees back to China. Rewards will be given if they return the refugees. The Nepal army can also receive these rewards. So the world in 2010 knew that this agreement was signed indirectly between China and Nepal, and this is disturbing news. We can easily see that in 2010, Nepal's politics was heavily influenced by China. On 2017, Nepal signs the Belt and Road Initiative with China. From 2018 to 2019, Nepal and China have signed nearly 17 agreements. These are big projects which consisted of health, agriculture, industry, tourism and infrastructure. China has told that it will help the Nepalese government. India was the one who was providing internet services for Nepal, but now the Chinese government is providing internet services. Nepal now says that the Indian media telecasting in Nepal is creating issues for the country. So Nepal has banned private Indian channels for spreading false propaganda. With this ban, we can confirm that Nepal and China ruling parties have the same policies. China does the same thing, but their version of banning is called the Great Firewall. So through the Great Firewall, the Chinese people have to listen to what the Chinese government has to say. If any Chinese sees any information through VPN or private networks, then their life is in danger. This is unacceptable act which has been committed by the Nepalese government also. We know that Nepal's ruling party is the Communist Party. There are two leaders who lead the Communist Party. One is Sharma Oli and the other is Prasanta, aka Pushpa Kamal Dahal. They had talked of a combined ruling system and they had many discussions. These two persons from the same political party faced elections independently. They win the elections and now there is a competition who is going to become the PM. After so many discussions, Prasanta has asked Sharma Oli to become president for 5 years. Are these two politicians pro-India? No. These two politicians are pro-Chinese. They support China. Their support comes from their communist political beliefs. When Sharma Oli presents the new Nepalese map, Prashanta opposes the proposal and says that India is a friendly country. Prashanta advises Oli not to act against India. There is another reason behind Prashanta's motives. If Oli becomes anti-India, this will determine the future of Nepal's political parties. When Sharma Oli is perfectly doing anti-India, his influence is increasing in Nepal and Prashanta's influence is decreasing. When Prashanta was starting to become pro-India, China started to play their game through embassy officers. NCP Standing Committee was to be held on 10th July, but they have postponed it due to Chinese power play in Nepal. This committee will determine the future of Sharma Oli, but this committee has been postponed 2 times. Ambassador to Nepal for China, her name is Hao Yangyi. She is a very important person in the foreign policies of China. She is well known in Twitter. We should also understand that she is one among the wolf warriors. Her previous positions, she was the ambassador for Pakistan. Pakistan's increased hatred over India was done by this Hao Yangyi. She was the one who turned Nepal against India. Hao Yangyi had discussions with each and every politician in the ruling Communist Party of Nepal. She had discussions with each and every one of them from 45 minutes to 1.5 hours. Her primary agenda is that the ruling Communist Party must survive. There should be no differences of opinions inside the political party. If there are differences, then the anti-India effect will decrease. If this happens, then China cannot determine the future of Nepal. She has requested that this anti-India should be continued for some years. Prashanta is not accepting this request, so they have postponed the Nepal's committee meeting. What will happen next? China will pay huge sums of money to Nepal. Already there is an agreement between Sharma Oli and Prashanta. China wants Oli to become PM. Prashanta can expect something from China or from the agreement. Maybe Prashanta is turning into pro-India? We still don't know. These are all questions which are yet to be answered. Nepal's standing committee will have up to 40 or more members. More than 30 members are against Sharma Oli being the PM. We expected that Sharma Oli would have lost his position of PM on the 11th of July. But now they have postponed the committee for another 1 week. The main reason was postponed the committee is China. Is China only doing these actions in Nepal? 2 secret documents have been obtained by a committee. The committee's name is ICT, International Campaign for Tibet. To solve disputes and issues between India and China, we have 2 solutions. India has to give full support to Hong Kong and Tibet. Taiwan should be our closest of allies. If Tibet, Taiwan and Hong Kong are supporting India and opposing China, if this news spreads, then China's future will be questioned. If someone from Nepal opposes against China saying Tibet is a separate country, that person will be arrested by the Nepal authorities. Nepal has given its full support for China in one China policy just like Pakistan. So the 2 secret documents consist of border management system. This agreement was signed between China and Nepal. If there are refugees from Tibet to Nepal, these refugees should be returned back to China. Now, you may have a doubt. Was this the document released in WikiLeaks? After 2010, there were protests in Nepal. The protests were done by Tibetans. Are there Tibet people in Nepal? More than 20,000 Tibet people are in Nepal as refugees. When China started occupying Tibet, many fled to India and Nepal. Nepal permitted the refugees from Tibet into their country. Nepal also said that they will not send back the refugees. They can go to China if they want to. Nepal has signed an agreement in the UN in 2003, but Nepal has not fulfilled its promises to the UN and they have not honored the agreement with the UN. On 2010 and the recent events has confirmed that Nepal has not fulfilled its promises. Are there chances that the Tibetans living in Nepal will start protests? Yes, there is a chance they will protest. After 1989, Tibetans living in Nepal are not given citizenship in Nepal. Many people don't even have the basic documents. So there are issues in Nepal. This is the reason why China is not allowing Tibetan people into Nepal as refugees. The Tibet people who are living in Nepal for so long will be branded as refugees who came in recently because these people don't have any documents with them. Nepal government may try to send all the Tibet people back to China. Now the Tibet people in Nepal are requesting the UN to safeguard them. Due to this effort, 2 secret documents have been obtained by the ICT. The second secret document's name is Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters Treaty. This law says that a criminal can be banished from the country to another country. Through this, we can clearly see that China's dominance over Nepal is way high. The future of Nepal is questionable. Some people in Nepal recognize this issue. Soon they will recognize that they are becoming a slave to China just like Pakistan did. So, in the near future, there will be a shift in politics in Nepal. If this happens, Nepal will not be anti-India but anti-China. When Nepal becomes anti-China, it will once again have good relations with India. So, these are the issues which we Indians currently face now. So, in this video, we have discussed in detail China's duplicates using reverse engineering, fake Pakistan pilots, and the political crisis which is happening in Nepal. Comments about this video are most welcome. Please subscribe and share to Wiki Walks, the voice of Wiki. Nandri Vanakkam.